What's the worst you've ever been cock-blocked/beaver damned? I was just chatting with a girl in a nightclub, making jokes, doing well, when Kelly Crudy, PSN pundit and retired NHL goalie, literally just stood in between us, just enough room to fit his frame, and said hello to the girl, who looked visibly confused, and turned around and said "You're done" and turned his back to me. I was fairly drunk and half his size, recognized him immediately, so I was a mix of offended and starstruck. I just slinked away. This is the first thing he blocked in his shitty career. I have no idea who he is, but that made me laugh. What a dick. Back when I was 18, just out of high school, was with this woman who I knew from HS, who asked me to go with her back to her place, and she was not subtle about it at all. Friend of mine overheard this and stole her wallet, as if he didn't score. No one scored. Spent 2 hours looking for the wallet until she rang her sister to take her home. After, he hands me the wallet and winks, saying "Better luck next time." Looking back, probably one of the biggest turning points of my life, as it showed me what kind of person he was. What a fucking piece of shit, holy crap. I hope he is not your friend anymore. Me as an 18-year-old near as damn it virgin playing D&D with my group of friends aged 18 to 23. I started to get on really well with his 23-year-old single neighbor who was part of the gaming group. After a few gaming sessions, she got cold on me, and the insecure me just passed it off as another rejection. A few years later, my best mate, who was the dungeon master, told me he'd warned her off me as she would have eaten me alive, and I didn't deserve that. Damn it, I wanted to be eaten alive by her. Worst ever cock block ever, and I'm 50 now. Terrible DM. He should have been guiding you on the journey, not taking it away from you. That sounds much worse. Roll for successful bra and hook. I was waiting for a flight, was at the bar, and started talking to a girl. After 3 hours of drinking and heavy flirting, she straight up told me to watch for her going to the bathroom during the flight, and follow her there, and we joined the Mile High Club. Boarding time comes, she's 20 people ahead of me in the check line. She goes on, I'm excited. I hand the gate agent my ticket. She says I've been bumped from the flight because they overbooked and I was last to book, so I'm on the next flight. I try to tell her that I have to be on this flight because I just do. Doesn't matter. I'm off. I'm now a 21-year-old hammered guy that just almost had every dude's fantasy come true. Oh, and it's now 3 a.m. in Seattle Airport and everything is closed, and I just have to sit and stare at the devil woman that just took away my heart, and I know she knows and did it on purpose. I was co-blocked by Delta Airlines, and I will never forgive them. Ever. Best in the thread easily. Because we're Delta Airlines, and life is a fucking nightmare, tilde. A buddy of mine lived on a golf course that hosts a regular PGA Tour event. His parents were out of town, so he hosted a house/pool party. These girls all came to the area with dudes, but they were on the course watching the tournament, so they were all like, screw it, we're going to the house party. The ratio there must have been 3 to 1 girls to guys, and at one point there was maybe 15 girls to 3 guys. The host and I were both being cool, chatting and getting to know an incredibly good-looking group of ladies, and the other guy was pretty much pussy kryptonite. He got super drunk, belligerent, touchy, would creep in on conversations, and just generally made everyone feel uncomfortable. Eventually, they all noped out and went to a bar because this guy was such a travesty. I was at a sorority party, and this girl I was vibing with takes me by the hand and leads me upstairs to find a private spot. My friend sees this and literally grabs me halfway up the stairs and says we have to go, and drags me out of the party. I was pretty faded and trusted his judgment in the moment. We make it out to the street and I ask him what's going on. He tells me he was saving me from hooking up with that girl who he felt was not up to par. I was so lit I didn't care, and then we proceed to wrestle out on the street as I am trying to go back inside. We never made it back inside the party. I had gay friends in college too. You know what they say, a wrestle in the streets leads to a wrestle in the sheets. What? In the butt? I was at a party when I was about 19 with some of my high school friends at this house. I think the owner was a friend of a friend. Anyways, I start talking to this girl. She's super into me. We're talking all night and playing drinking games together, and she's basically attached to my hip. I feel real confident this is going somewhere. Before I could make my move, something happened and a few of my friends got kicked out of the party, so we all had to go. We're outside the house planning out next move, and the girl came with me, still attached to my hip. One guy in our group, who I didn't really know that well, was saying he just wanted to go home. He then looked at the girl who was with me and said, "Hey, can I go with you?" "Yay, I'll get a ride with you." Yo guys. I found a ride. And the girl looked visibly uncomfortable by how this guy she had no interaction with and didn't know suddenly decided he was going home with her. She just very awkwardly muttered, "I'm gonna go," and did a 180 turn back to her friends in the party. The dude didn't even comprehend what he just did. I was so upset and really stopped hanging out with that dude after that. Wow, what an ass. He probably knew exactly what he was doing. My girlfriend and I were quietly trying to get it going one night, and my roommate's boyfriend decided to leave his laptop loudly playing the sound of a baby crying outside my bedroom to shut off our libidos. I'm still fairly certain this is because he and my roommate weren't having sex yet and it was his way of taking it out on us. Should have gotten them back when you had the chance. Throw a real live crying baby in their bed when they are trying to hook up. I didn't live with them when I would have had a chance, lol. I was at a party in college and had a good conversation with a girl a few times in the past, and she was at this party. Whole night we are hanging out, few kisses here and there. General attraction to each other. We're playing beer pong and doing well. I put my arm around her waist and she puts her hand in my back pocket while the other team is shooting. I had a condom in the pocket. She pulls it out, giggles and says, "We're gonna need this later." Well, later came about 30s later when her ex showed up at the party and they left about 20 minutes later. 30 minutes later I checked my pocket for the condom and it was gone. She stole the condom I brought, to hook up with her ex. What a wild ride that was. That is rough. Met this girl at a wedding. We were both in the wedding party. Started talking to her at a bar we went to after the rehearsal dinner. Was about to ask her for her number when her twin brother came over and stood with us for the rest of the night. You know that shared sympathetic response that twins claim to have? Guess he did not want to feel it that night. "Hey sis? My ass is really sore this morning. What did you get up to last night?" Holy party foul, Batman. Was at a bar and a woman starts coming up to me and we start chatting. Woman is clearly interested in me and is kissing me and whispering sweet nothings into my ear, so I ask her if she wants to go for a walk on the beach and she agrees. Right as we are leaving the bar, a man walks up and asks what we are doing. Bear in mind neither of us knew who he was. We tell him we are going for a walk on the beach and he promptly decides to join us for a walk and literally does not leave our side for the next 2 hours. I wanted to explode. What the actual fuck? This sounds like the plot to a weird indie movie. Should have told him to kick rocks and fuck right off. No random stranger is gonna join me in a walk on the beach. From a bar. In the middle of the night. No way. On a lunch break in high school, and a girl who I had been flirting with quite a bit asked where I was going for lunch and I responded my place. She then gave me a look and asked if she could join. We were just getting into the parking lot when a friend saw and ran over to ask if he could come. I felt awkward about the whole thing, so said sure. He then yelled shotgun to sit next to me on the drive to my place. I then proceeded to make them both grilled cheese and soup. Very disappointing lunch break. Worst wingman ever. That's not even my worst story about a terrible wingman. My worst one, I just didn't feel great typing out. Still make fun of my friend for how bad he fucked it up for me to this day. Well, now we need details. The worst is the time I cock-blocked myself. On my 21st birthday at my favorite club at university, I was dancing with a girl and after kissing she asked me where I lived. At which point I noticed my friends had left, so I drunkenly made my excuses and went and found them in the chicken shop for some fried food to soak up the booze. Well done me. Sex or chicken? Chicken. The amount of times that I've done this makes me sad. Always been bad at catching a hint, lol. My best friend at the time, from high school to early 20s, would be terrible when we were around new guys or anyone she thought was cute. She was very flirty and loud, always needed all eyes on her. I was not, am still not that way. I was talking to a guy at a party, he seemed smart and genuine. We were talking about our favorite authors and she walked up and said, "I don't know why you're talking to her about this, she can't even read," and then she started flirting with him hard. So I walked away. I'm pretty sure they slept together. Fuck these piece of shit best friends like this. I had one, so glad she's gone. I literally remember in early high school at one of those awkward school dances, a slow dance came on and I, a lowly 9th grader, ended up dancing with a very popular upperclassman. Suddenly all the girls in my class were such good friends of mine that they ran up, started piling onto my back, his back, and invited themselves into what became a group slow dance. It was the worst. I hated high school. This is like something out of Pen 15.